Alright, hello, welcome. I'm Audrey, and today I'm going to be playing with this palette from Salt, New York. They do a really cool set of cream products featuring a foundation that's a balm type foundation. Here's their palette. They do like a set. You can get a discount if you get 4 items to fill the palette. You can see I have a foundation shade, a concealer, a blush, and a bronzer / contour. And so I am going to be putting some of these on my face along with whatever else seems interesting today. So yeah, I wanted to get things done this morning and it's almost 2:30. So it's one of those days. I've been pretty tired, which isn't super surprising. I lost my job a few weeks ago. That will do it. I have a very slightly damp sponge that I'm working with. And I'm just going to take the sponge and pull just a tiny bit of the foundation, the Sneaky Balm, and stick it. Oh, you know what I wanted to do first? I forgot this last time, but today we're going to do things in order. I want to do the e.l.f. Putty Color Correcting Eye Brightener first, because I find it's easier to blend things around it than to blend it on top of things. So it comes in this cute little pot. I'll just take a little bit of it on my finger and press it in. And even just a little bit like that really feels like it makes a difference for me in terms of smoothing the under eye area. Just a tiny bit. I definitely put more on one side than the other. It happens. This is why we're doing it first. Alright, how are we doing for evenness? I feel like it looks a little weird with just this on because my face has gotten... It was not this red when I started today. Something has made it get more red. Possibly that I only sort of halfway ate lunch. ADHD problems, you know? Alright. Let's go with that. You can see the sort of brightener versus rosacea situation. So now, with the Sneaky Balm, I'm going to start by just putting it on the areas where I have the most redness. And what I really like about this product is that it does go on very lightly if that's what you want, but provides a surprising amount of coverage for that. And really the only downside is that because it is a balm foundation, it's not going to stay all day, you know? Like if you're looking for something that's really just gonna stick to your skin and not fade, this isn't it. It will require touch-ups. I find that it fades most quickly anywhere that I have bumps, you know, or starts to sort of wear off of raised areas like that. But otherwise, it's just been a really reliable kind of product. I haven't had it for too long, but I saw some other fair skin creators using it. And I really love that it does come in light enough shades, and they have some different undertones, and the product is entirely mixable. Which is a little bit more work, but because the person behind the company is a makeup artist and does a lot of that kind of thing, but I think where some of the inspiration came from, if you find that you can't find quite the right shade, it is possible to blend your own. And not all products are very easy to work with in that way. But from what I've seen, this one is. Oh, and I didn't say what shades I'm using. So I have the Sneaky Balm and the concealer, their Best Case concealer in the lightest shade, which I believe is N13. If you want to know every foundation shade that I'm trying that I found, to be roughly in the right range, I have a spreadsheet that's linked in the description. And so you can check out all of those things and some testing notes and see also what I have in the queue to try next. And if you're interested in any of those things, let me know so that I know which ones to prioritize. But so I have the Sneaky Balm and the concealer in N13. Let me double check. No, if I try to flip it, I'm going to get it all over the place. Anyhow, pretty sure that's the case. I have the bronzer in taupe, and I have the lip and cheek cream product in rose. And I tried to pick those as shades that would be as close to sort of feeling natural on my skin. Because again, I feel like this is a great product for when you just want a tiny bit of coverage. You really want it to blend in. You can do more dramatic looks, but it's really quite adaptable in that way. So, let's see. Did I put any on my nose? And you can layer it up too, but I think if I do that in the areas where I might want to have more coverage, I'm pretty sure that it will start to feel a little bit heavy on my skin, just because the areas where I have the most redness also tend to be where makeup doesn't sit very well, which is an annoying combination, let me tell you. All right, so I think we've brought things down to a healthier rosy glow. And I find that the texture does improve as I let this sit for a tiny bit. I don't know how it performs on people with oily skin, obviously, because I've never had oily skin. But I do find on my dry skin it tends to set down and not feel like sticky or dewy after a little while, which is also great, that it really can just blend in that way. I haven't played with the concealer as much, so I'm not sure what the best way is going to be to do it. I do know this is the concealer's a very heavy coverage product. You can really cover everything with it if that's what you want. But it's much more thick and almost goopy kind of cream. Not in a bad way. But I do find that I need to be careful with it. So let's just pick some things to conceal for demonstration's sake. And often, because I do go for a subtle look, it can be hard for me to tell. Did I accomplish anything here? And I'm tapping things against my hand to make sure that I don't take too much product at any one time, because one thing to know about dry skin is that you can get yourself into a lot of trouble with blending by putting too thick or too heavy of a layer on, because things are going to set down faster. And so you really don't have as much time to work with before there start to be issues. I don't really see the point in putting any concealer on my upper lip, just because I know that everything comes off the moment that I need to blow my nose, and we are absolutely into allergy season at this point. feels pretty good. I'm happy with this kind of a result. It feels so much more even. Obviously I'm still pink, but it doesn't combine in an unnatural feeling way. And I certainly think, as long as somebody's not right up in my face, I could probably be out and about and nobody would think, oh, well, that person's wearing makeup. Not that most people actually spend that much time thinking about it, but I have this sort of brain that, like, once you get focused on it, you start looking for details and patterns, right? And so if I'm thinking a lot about whether I look like I have makeup on, I'm going to notice absolutely everybody, whether or not they do, right? I don't know if that's a common experience. Okay, and yeah, I don't see anything that I really feel like I need to touch up at this point. So the next thing, we're going to get more out of my comfort zone by using the bronzer. Really, when it comes to makeup that I feel most confident about my ability to apply, it's the base products, foundation, concealer, and lips. And for years before my rosacea started to become more apparent and more than just occasional redness, I just owned lipstick. I had a couple of different colors of lipstick for like special occasions and more, like I had one red, one brown, and that was it. Also the black lipstick that I wore to my high school graduation, but that's very much a special occasion piece. I finally threw it out a few years ago. I just thought, no makeup product survives over 20 years, sadly. So even when I started to wear foundation a little bit more in my 20s to work, when I found like one shade that worked for me in one product, I tended to just, apply just enough to even out my face, put lipstick on and call it good. I've only routinely done a lot of the other things as part of stage makeup when I did high school theater. That's a really different kind of, some people, I suppose, go for that every day, but I do not. Anyhow, so that's why every time I look at the bronzer, I start stalling. So I think this might not go well. Well, what's going to make it easiest? What's going to increase the chances that it goes well? The right brush or the sponge? Let's try the sponge. I'm picking up just a tiny bit on the round part of it, and then I'm going to tap it on my hand to kind of try to even out the color that's on the sponge. And just do that a couple times here. And then, let's see, placement. Let's aim for like here. Can barely see it. But if I look at myself straight ahead, adds just a little bit of extra depth. So let's try to imitate that on the other side. But yeah, on the topic of energy and unemployment, it's so much harder to get into like a stable daily routine than I was expecting. I was trying to just get back to the way that things have worked for me when I've been self-employed. Because I really, actually, I mean, I found that I enjoy running my own business, that there's a lot about self-employment I like. It's just the stable income part of it that does not work out so well. Especially when the economy is being weird. So I thought that it wouldn't be that hard to just roll into, you know, normal routine. Then I think I'll go back over it, again, just tapping with the sort of foundation side of the sponge. Not to try to take a lot of product off, but to soften the appearance as much as I can. And what I notice is that it does make my cheeks a little bit darker, and it does then highlight the underside of the cheekbone, or, you know, the hollow here that people are often going for. But at least in my hand mirror, I don't think it's too glaring or anything. And that's good. I don't like when it's fine when you're looking straight ahead and then weird the moment you turn your head, you know? I would prefer not to have that effect. Again, till we want to go with like full 80s theatrical glam or something, you know, sharp, chiseled cheekbones. Maybe then. So the other thing is that I do have this blush, and I'm looking for a part of the sponge that I could use. One of the things I've been playing with a little bit, let's see if I can get this right, find a different part of my hand, is just right here, the very top, adding a little bit of color back. And the reason I'm doing that is that once I've muted the rosacea related redness, the pink parts are sort of pasty. And adding a like very subtle amount of like a cream blush that's close to my natural kind of flushed color can give me a little bit more of a healthy appearance to it, so that it's more of that youthful flush that's popular as people talk about the sunburnt look. It's a beauty trend I find really fascinating, you know. But I've been feeling like it distracts from the rest of the rosacea, you know. Let's see, I feel like I need a tiny bit more here. Because then all of the color is concentrated up at the top and less further down, so that it lifts the appearance up toward the eyes, the top of the cheek, where the sort of, you know, cute, healthy, you know, just light little blush at the tops of the cheeks might happen. I think I shouldn't add more while my face is a little bit just more flushed overall, because I am guaranteed to overdo it. But in my mirror, I think I'm close to the effect I was going for, so that's good. It's just something that I'm playing with, and if you are in a mood, if you have, you know, the rosacea and everything, and you're in a mood to experiment, I suggest trying it, you know. Get your face a little bit, maybe not completely blanked out, but just a little bit more evened out, and then see if the right color of blush at the tops of your cheeks can bring some life back into it and make your face feel a little bit more dynamic. It feels a little counterintuitive, but I'm finding it does like just bring that glow in instead of the dullness that the red of like red skin and rosacea and flushing can be. Makes it a little bit more vibrant. So that's my current experiment. And I'm liking that for making me feel less tired. Part of why I had the idea to start doing these videos is that in the course of the sort of run-up to our layoffs at work, I looked in the mirror, I don't know, maybe a month ago, and I thought, you look so tired and gray. And I didn't want to, I mean, obviously who wants to feel like that all the time? I just knew that if I could do something to lift that a little bit, it would lift how I'm feeling. Again, like, why do we wear makeup? It's so much about our mood and our sense of self being expressed. And so I thought it was just an interesting experiment to see what kinds of makeup and techniques and so on would help me go from the post-winter gray dullness to still having rosacea, but also feeling more lifelike. So that's the project, a lot of it. And I've tried searching for examples of wearing blush with rosacea and never felt very satisfied with anything I was reading about it. So that also motivated me to start doing my own experiments. And there's going to be more videos coming on this topic. I have some different products to try, some other ideas to play with. So you should subscribe so you can see those videos when they happen in a few weeks. Now that I have some bronzer, some blush, some face neutrality, I'm not going to really do anything with my brows, but I am going to comb them because I don't know, I like doing it. And it feels like it helps me evaluate everything else if I can kind of see, see where my brows are today. I'm not including eye makeup for reasons that I'm going to get into in a future video. Right now, there's some things going on where it would not be friendly to my eyes to be wearing eye makeup, and I also don't like a lot of eye makeup looks on me, but I'll be talking about that in the future for sure. All right. Cool. The last thing that I'm going to do is put a lip product on. I think with this sort of subtle, natural glow that I'm just going to go for something a little glossy, not too bright, not too sharp. And I just picked up this Glow Reviver lip oil from e.l.f. I have it in the color Coral something. I have it in this coral shade. Very pretty, very spring and summery. So I'll just quick put a layer of that on. Check the lines. It has this interesting, like, chunky doe foot applicator. I think this is an imitation of some luxury product, but I don't remember which one. And I am not really in the market for that kind of designer product anyhow, so another thing that I am totally fine with e.l.f. wanting to copy. All right, reasonably in the places I want it to be, checking in the other mirror, making sure that there's nothing that needs a touch up. So that's gonna be today's look. And I'll just do a quick review of the Salt New York palette and how I'm feeling about it. So I really do like how it plays on my skin. I think it sits very well on dry patches. I feel like it sits well on the texture of my rosacea. I don't mind that it will fade, and that if I want to continue to have this level of coverage, I'm going to need to touch it up. That's not really a problem for me, since I would just be doing it here at home before the next Zoom call or whatever. So not a big deal. And I just like that pretty much everything, when we get to that dry patch between my eyes, there is something weird going on, and it's barely noticeable there. It really just, like, it blends right in. I also, I also see that there isn't really an obvious line between where the under eye corrector product is and everything else. I can't tell, I only did a little bit of concealer and I can't really, I don't see anything visible one way or another. And so in the future, I'll probably experiment with that a little bit more and just see if these more pronounced bumps, see how it does on top of those, especially like as my face moves and everything over time, over the course of the day. But yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm thinking that I'll call the video something like trying to look like a normal human person on a random day, because that's how I'm feeling today. Can I just look human, please? Not Dalek, not artificial, not overdone, just human and comfortable. So, all right. Thank you for being here. If you found this in any way interesting or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up so that other people can find it. That's how YouTube knows to recommend videos to the next person. And I really hope that you'll subscribe. I have so many ideas for future videos. I will easily be doing 2 videos a week through June if everything goes the way that I have planned out. And I would love to have you. I'd love to hear from you in the comments and find out what you're looking for, what experiments you've been afraid to try, or what products that you're just hesitant about because you don't know if that kind of thing is going to work on your skin. If we have any skin issues in common or any, anything that overlaps, let me know. Let me know what you're thinking about. I'd love to hear it. All right, take care. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.